what I was saying was not recording because my phone was dying. But y'all, to make a long story short, I want you to know that social media doesn't matter. What you look like doesn't matter. How much money you make doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to anybody, and it shouldn't matter to anybody, excuse me, but you, right? Because social media and your social status and all of that is not valuable. It's not useful to anybody but people that are in the world. And I say in the world as a way to say that people that are just trying to get, not even like get ahead or make themselves feel anything but pleasure. Like, it makes you feel good for a minute and then you have to go and do it all over again. It's like a drug. People are addicted to social media, and I found myself addicted to TikTok at one point until like I ended up down like this road. You know, you end up on the wrong side of the internet, and I saw some things that really terrified me. And I'm a person with very, I would say, a very soft heart in many ways. So some things can frighten me or cause anxiety. The news especially can increase anxiety in a lot of people, especially hearing bad news. That's not good for your spirit. It's not good for you. And what I had learned is that, you know, these things were not suiting me. They were not helping me. They're not allowing me to grow. I spend a lot of my time on here, and then I end up seeing things that scare me or whatever the case may be. And yeah, for a lot of people, I know that platform has helped people grow. It has helped families. It has helped people just, you know, utilize their creative genius. And I'm so sorry that people are losing that app, that it was very useful to them. I'm saying from my own experience, I deleted TikTok almost 2 years ago. I wanted to devote a lot of time, almost 2 years ago. I wanted to devote a lot of my time to God, y'all. And I want to say this before I get into this. I've lost myself in the world many a time. So this wasn't the first time, but I'm praying that it's the last time, because I was so much focused on God, and I got to school and I kind of lost myself being at college, being on campus. And as you can see, I wound up getting pregnant and I had a baby, my first baby, and I moved here. And then I started to get back in my word again, and I started having trouble in my relationship, and then I lost focus, and then my relationship started to work its way better. And then around probably February of 2024. Now, this was transpiring in 2023, y'all. So 2023 relationship was kind of rocky. 2024, it was, you know, going through the motions but figuring a lot out. And then I ended up having, like, literally, it's crazy, got pregnant in 2024, had the baby the same year. So you can imagine I got pregnant very early in the year. And then so now, while during 2024, while I was pregnant and everything, I started getting back into the word, getting back to God, because I found that I lost myself. I lost my relationship with God. I felt like God was very far off. He wasn't hearing me like I was seeking God, and it's like he had closed the ear to me. But the Lord is not, he's not closed off from us forever. He will turn and forgive us if we're truly repentant and you know, are really asking God for forgiveness. There have been so many times where I've like prayed, God, please forgive me, and then it's like, well, smack in the face. And I can understand that from a very worldly standpoint, where people can do the same to me and I just been hurt. And I have now reflected that as like, you did that to God. Like, you did that to the one being. Ooh, I just bit, sorry. The one being who is always forgiving, always sovereign, always loving, always kind, one that does not hold your past against you, because he is forgiving if you truly are asking for forgiveness. Y'all, I ended up, you know, taking a fast from social media for a while during these times. So like from the time I left college, I've been on and off social media. TikTok was the one place, TikTok and Facebook were the one places where I'm like, yeah, I was obsessed with. And those were at one point, God, I believe, felt like I needed to fast TikTok and Facebook. and I fasted it so long to a point where I was like, I don't necessarily need this anymore. So eventually I deleted TikTok. And then I deleted Instagram, which that was something I did not get on at all. I feel like Instagram is a place where you have to prove yourself, and you have to, because you're trying to appease someone else. You're looking for the next like, you're looking for that next caption, trying to spark attention from other people because you feel like you have to prove yourself in that world as well. And it's just, it's, we're hurting ourselves, y'all. We're truly hurting ourselves, and we're looking at things that really don't have any purpose and is not suiting us at all, because we spend a lot of our time on these apps. And I say this, and I'm on a streaming app called YouTube, and YouTube was an app that I really did not utilize a lot. There was a one point in college where I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make YouTube, and then I stopped, right? Because I don't know, I have gotten very bored with my life, I think, now that I'm trying to find things that suit me, and it's just not that anymore. One reason why I did want to get on YouTube, because I'm like, that was something that I found to be fun. I'm hoping to not just make vlogs, but to get into making this my healing journey, y'all. Now I just want to find out what Pam likes, what Pam enjoys, spending time with God, and kind of opening that up to you guys, because you heal by seeing other people heal. You grow by watching other people grow, and then you can feel sadness when other people are sad too, because we are human, and typically as human we sympathize or we empathize with one another. And so of course with social media and things like that, you want to also find that gratification from someone else. But I'm telling you, you don't need that. You don't need that validation from anybody else but God. God already knows that you're beautiful. God already knows that you're that person. God already knows that you're going to elevate. God already knows where he wants you to be. And you stunt your growth by doing things that are not really fulfilling. You're gonna continue to seek because you're looking for some type of validation, and I promise you, you don't need it. Enjoy social media as an outlet, as a fun thing to do, but please don't get lost in like trying to prove something, right? Don't think that that's all that there is. And I think that's me. So that's just me telling my personal story, and hopefully someone out there probably feels the same. Who cares if you get one like on your picture, bro? You're not posting it for people, although that's how social media makes it seem. So yeah, I ended up off Instagram. I don't have Twitter. Twitter is a scary place for me, because Twitter is where people get bullied, y'all. And I had really bad experience with Twitter. And I know it's not even called Twitter anymore, y'all. I feel like an old person because I'm not on social media. Like I said, YouTube. There are times where I will go back to Facebook, but I really think that I'm done. I haven't been on Facebook in like a couple of months, like literally since probably November. And even then I was on and off of it. Like, y'all, I would take like month-long hiatus from Facebook. So I don't have Facebook, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Twitter, I don't have TikTok. What other apps are there out there? I don't have them. Not saying that you don't need them, because that's how people stay in touch with their families. They update on how they're, what they're doing in life, and of course you want to let people know what you're doing, what you have going on. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that, and hopefully YouTube will be the little place where I am platforming myself. And even if that doesn't last long, these are seasons in my life where I am learning and I am growing, y'all. And I'm changing and I'm evolving. So I'm going to continuously try to figure out where I fit in, where I want to be, what I want to do, who am I, what is God calling me to be. Hello? You okay? Come here, breathe. You okay? I love you. So yesterday I was reading was it Exodus? Yes. Exodus 20 verses 1 through 21, and it speaks of the 10 commandments, right, y'all? I have been reading the Bible from the beginning. for my devotion, and I'm actually learning stuff. Like, I feel like I've read the Bible last year, and I tried to read the whole Bible last year, and I did, but then I kind of skipped through some of the chapters. So it's like you don't really pay attention if you're not really reading to learn. If you're just reading to like, oh, I read it and I did it, y'all, you're not gonna get anything. But now I'm kind of learning, and I'm like, this is so crazy. But I'm in Exodus now, but I had to read for my church Exodus chapter 20 verses 1 through 21. But I'm really in the beginning of Exodus now. I just finished Genesis, so now I'm in Exodus. But my pastor specifically wanted us to read Exodus 21 through 21. Okay, give me 1 second, right? You want the tablet for a second? Y'all, he's not supposed to be on this tablet. There you go. I thought he was in there with his dad. I thought his dad was watching him, but he got away. Because I wanted to have this one-on-one time with y'all. Although Langston is here, Jelani is more interactive, so he speaks his mind, and sometimes that can cloud what I'm trying to say and divert my attention. But I'm always gonna try to give my attention to him anyway. So while he's in here, let's try to focus. So they talk about the 10 Commandments, and it says God gave the people these instructions. He says, I'm the Lord your God who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. Commandment 1, have no other God before me. 2, do not make idols of any kind or any graven images to worship. Number 3, do not misuse the name of the Lord. You will not go unpunished. 4, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 5, honor your mother and father so you may have a long, full life. 6, do not murder. 7, do not commit adultery. 8, do not steal. 9, do not lie. And 10, do not covet. Y'all, I was reading these and I'm like, these are important to have, although there's a lot more in the Bible about the law and about what Moses had taught, and then later on what Saul had taught us, and even what John the Baptist left for us to know, and Jesus. So there's so many things, so much that we should take our time trying to learn and trying to figure out. And there are so many things that will help us read the Bible and learn, which is why I enjoy the daily devotional. Sometimes I'll see something that may inspire me or bring a lot of thought into my mind. So hopefully that was something that somebody needed to learn today. Now I also read 1 Samuel 1:28, and it talks about a man, and I might get his name wrong. His name is Elkanah or Elkanah. He had 2 wives, and one of his wives was able to have many children while the other one, Hannah, was not, right? And this kind of like, back in that time, you were very useful to your husband if you could give him children. You could give him, especially sons, because your sons were the strength of the family. They were the ones who were out doing the hard labor and, bringing home like money and providing. So that was very important back in that time. And even now, it kind of is still very important, because we look at our men as our strength, right? Not everyone, to our independent women, men, whoever you may be out there. You may choose to do whichever you choose with your life, as long as it's honoring God. And a lot of times in my life, I realized I was not bringing honor to God. Y'all, I've done so many things that I feel so much shame for, so much I get down and I start thinking about it, and I get negative, and I'm like fighting negative thoughts, because I know that my one main struggle is my struggle for forgiveness. And I know this is hard for me to forgive, because I struggle with forgiving myself. But I'm like always looking to God. God, I know that you forgive me. I know that you forgive me. I know that you forgive me. Allow me to forgive myself, and so I can forgive others. You know that one Bible verse, love thy neighbor as thyself? You can't love other people if you're not loving yourself. And that does not mean become a lover of yourself, and meaning conceited and self-obsessed or absorbed. We should always extend a helping hand. We should always be loving and kind to others. And sometimes it's important that we give that love back to ourselves, or we won't have any love to give to other people. And that does not mean that you're selfish, but you can become selfish if that's all you're giving your time to. And sometimes we need those seasons where we're tending to ourselves, but we cannot forget our common man. We cannot forget our neighbor, right? So in 1 Samuel, chapter 1, verses 1 through 28, Hannah did not have any children, y'all. And this got her very down because Elkanah's other wife, whose name I can't really remember, she was bullying Hannah. They would go and worship at the tabernacle. I don't know if it was like each year, but they would go, and this was like a very special occasion. And there was one night where they were eating, and Elkanah allowed like the wives, they got to pick their portions, and the wife that had children, she got to pick more portions or some sort for the meat, yeah, that they would go and sacrifice, but then they would also eat. Yeah, it's a cow. And unfortunately, yeah, it's Tanny. Yeah, say Hannah was only given one portion, and this made her very sad. And Elkanah's other wife bullied her, like was just picking on her because she could not have children, and this got her down. So one day, while she was there at the tabernacle, she went and prayed, and it says she chose not to eat. She got up and she went to pray, and the apostle Eli, I believe he was an apostle, Eli was there, and she prayed to God. She said, if you give me a child, if he gave her a son, she would give him back to God, so, and not cut his hair. So it says Eli thought she was drunk because of this request that she made to God. How she went up to the tabernacle, she was praying, he was there, but she was not, and she sincerely just wanted that prayer answered, and she was begging God, basically, like, and I will say this one thing too. Her husband did say to her, like, why do you want children? You have me. Isn't that enough? So he was basically, God bless her husband. Stop. You do not write on my thing. Y'all. You can hold it like this, but not with the ink coming out. Yeah, so so Eli told her, may the Lord answer your prayers. And then when she returned home, she ended up becoming pregnant. And during that time, she eventually had her baby. And it was time to go pray at the tabernacle again. But she told her husband, like, wait, I'm going to wean him and then I'll take him. So when it was time to go, eventually when the baby was weaned, they went up. She saw the apostle Eli. She told him, do you remember me? I was a woman that came here and I prayed. Look, God has given me a son and I'm back to dedicate him back to God. So what I got from that is when God gives us a blessing, y'all, and I think this is very important when they talk about tithes. I was someone who didn't even really know much about tithes, but when God gives you something, it's important to give it back to you. Give it back to him. My pastor said something that was very important that I say to myself a lot. Don't let the gift be bigger than the giver, right? The gift giver. So Jesus gave you a gift. It's important to give back that gift or give back to him. Especially a portion of what you get, because I'm always saying to myself, oh, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need that, but it's important to pay your tithes, because it's like, God promised, never will I leave you, nor will I forsake you. So it's like, he's giving me this, he's gonna always provide, and he has. Like, we be so obsessed with wanting things, and those things don't really matter, because we become slaves to those things because we feel like we need them and we don't. We will always have enough. God tells us to be content with what we have. So I feel like Elkanah was trying to let her know, like, you're fine even if you don't have children, but she really desired that. And because of that desire and that prayer and her promise to God, that she kept her promise, you know, it's important that we keep our promises to God too. There are so many times in my life where I've promised God, you know, I'm going to get it right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm a work in progress, and I'm still working, y'all. There are things that get me down, that stress me out. Like, but I have to remind myself, like, is there anything too hard for God? God has got me here, and he's still working, and he's elevating me, and I'm growing. And so I'm going to go through seasons in my life. And I'm in a season in my life where I'm waiting for things to turn around, y'all. I feel like a lot of times I get overwhelmed, and the devil will try to attack you when you're at your weakest, you know. But where we are weak, God is strong, so we have to give it over to God. Right now in these very moments, I feel like I can ask someone for help, and this is why I hate asking people for help, because sometimes they will fall short. They're human. And not only that, people aren't really willing to help. They'll do things to take advantage of you, or to eventually kind of use that against you. And that's why I have been very hyper independent my whole life, and it's hard to relinquish that control to God. But it's important that we give that back to God. And when circumstances go wrong in your life, you know, we're easy to get down. I myself will get down, but I have to build myself back up. A song that Jelani was playing today was Encourage Yourself, a song that I used to play so much when I was young, bro, because I was going through it. But I realized I'm going to continue to grow through it, and I can't just, you know, continue to be down or whatever the case may be. I gotta keep pushing, keep moving, keep positive, because at the end of the day, when all this is said and done, you have, and your soul is the only soul that you can save. You can lead people to the water, but it's up to them to drink. So someone may have given me an inspiration, but it's up to me whether I take that advice or not, right? So it's important that I continue to encourage myself while there are people around me encouraging me, and while I'm trying to encourage others. It's very hard, you know. Life was not meant to be easy. It is very challenging, but we have God. You have JJ? This is Doll. And you have people. Create you a corner, a circle of people, y'all. I get very annoyed easily, and I try to just no, go knock the camera over, boo. And I don't necessarily say it out loud, but some things really do bother me. There was a time where I was very vocal about it, but it does not matter whether you say it or you don't say it. People don't care. You can hold it. And I'm tired of begging people for that sense of care. We gotta go to God, and just meet people where they are. Don't expect a lot from people. Don't expect a lot from yourself. Look for God. God is there, because we will try to get ourselves overwhelmed because we think we can do it all. You're going to make out this list of plans for your life, and God's going to say, is that the plan that I have for you? And so it's going to just be more difficult than it has to be. So I'll finish this by saying I love y'all. I don't even know y'all. To the people that watch my videos, whether it's one person, to the people that like my videos, whether it's nobody, because nobody really likes my videos, but people are watching. So someone was meant to see this and may not really want to take it and run with it quite yet, but they're learning, they're growing, and I pray for you. So I ask God to just deliver us all from the things that are holding us back from just reaching our full potential in Him, to cleanse our souls and our spirits of all things that have just bounded us and kept us from, you know, really truly forgiving ourselves and other people. I pray that God offers us healing, and I pray that God gives us His Spirit, that He continues to be that stronghold, that strong force in our life, that protector, that guidance that we need, that the Holy Spirit will fill us up, and that we will know that Jesus is enough. And because Jesus is enough, I am enough. And that, you know, we don't need these things, and that we can be content with our lives. And that when we get down and sad or frustrated, angry, mad, that we'll remember the goodness of God and the grace that He has given us. And we can extend that grace to ourselves and to others. Yeah, and just learn to love. Love. God's going to get you out of that situation. Whatever situation you are in, God's going to get you out of it. And I'm saying this to myself, y'all. I'm saying, God, deliver me, Jesus. Deliver me. Oh, I don't want to be in this season no more, yo. Like, I literally just want to, if only, y'all. I'm gonna get out of it because I get down, I get sad. I just, Jesus, release me. I need Jesus to release me, y'all. Like, I just had a moment. I need God to release me, God. I know that you are building me. I know that God is growing me, so I have to go through these growing pains, and I'm in this season of, wait, you're gonna get there. You're not quite ready yet, but I'm growing you, bro. I'm growing you, bro. I'm growing you. I'm changing you. All my life, I feel like I just been going through it, bro. Going through it. You scared him, but it got me here, and it's allowing me to learn and grow. So stick it through, y'all. We're going through the fire, but we won't smell like smoke. And I'm encouraging myself today too. So I love y'all.